Here we go.
All right.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is the Provoke Total Fitness Podcast. I'm Matthew.
I'm Walter. How you doing?
And today we are going to be talking about what is pretty much blowing up on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and has been for years. It's the whole idea of these fad 2-week diet, 3-week diet plans, not even diet plans, workout plans that will get you shredded, they'll get you muscle, they'll get you this and that, that are just complete BS. So let's get started right off the bat. I'm going to read you something. And Walter and I talked a little bit before we actually started this, but I just want to bring this up really quick. So on one of these videos, which is called 2 Weeks to Shredded Abs, it says in the description box at the very bottom where nobody can actually see it is important disclaimer. Please note that all of my videos are titled according to SEO best practices for content discoverability. Unfortunately, this may mean that video titles are subjective and shouldn't be seen as absolute truth. As an example, targeting fat reduction is not scientifically proven, but a video title might suggest otherwise. When following any of my videos, please take precaution to exercise in a safe environment, and I highly suggest seeing a health and fitness professional to give you advice on your exercise form and dietary needs. Everyone is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution to health and fitness. I'm not a medical professional, and for your health and safety is at the utmost importance. So, I mean, we're going to use names anyways. This was a very famous YouTuber, Instagrammer named Chloe Ting. I am not going to bash her actual workouts. Her actual workouts are pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They're decent workouts. And she is amazing at marketing herself because she has, on that video alone, I think she's already over like close to 100 million views on that one video. Something like 6 million plus followers on Instagram. Million subscribers, all this stuff, right? She's big. She's marketed well. She's done her job as a business professional. Would I call her a health professional? I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up. I believe if you're a fitness professional in terms of, personal training, health, fitness, chiro, anything, physio, you are trying to promote that healthy lifestyle without the BS behind it. That's just in my opinion. So I wouldn't go as far to say she's a fitness professional. She's more of a business professional that has done really well for herself. Anyways, we're just going to start it with that. Walter, take it away.
What do you say to something like that? I mean, that is what sells, and that is what people are looking for. I mean, we live in a culture of quick fixes and wanting to get things right away. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is it takes you as long to walk out of the forest as it took you to walk into the forest. And if it took you 5 years of eating badly, it's not going to take you 5 years of eating well and exercising to get out of that forest, but you're not going to do it in 2 weeks, no matter what anyone has to say, except for a really good creep show episode that I saw involved these leeches and things, but it was really creepy. Anyway, bait switch advertising, false advertising. It's all the same thing.
Sorry, start that over again. We just cut out a little bit. Yeah, start that sentence over again.
Okay. Bait and switch advertising practices, false claim advertising practices, all those things are illegal for a reason. We're not supposed to use those things. Unfortunately, they're used all the time. It's easy. This is on sale. This is on sale. Oh, but you get
ways to get around it.
You have this instead.
Yeah.
And they get rid of what they want to get rid of.
There's ways to get around it.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because there are a lot of people who don't know the facts and are believing these things. And so they go and they spend whatever amount of money it is, and they end up with bad results. And they end up thinking that it's their fault, not the fault of the product, not the fault of the gym, whatever. It's not your fault if you're if you're sold a false bill of goods.
Yeah.
It is your fault if you're told this is what you need to do and it's the right thing and you don't do it. But that doesn't make you a bad person. So.
Yeah. It's just funny to me that this day and age where there's so much information out there saying that 2-week abs, 2-week fat loss, 2 weeks, 10 pounds down is still believed. It's still like people see that as the truth. And if you're the 1%, 0.01% of people that could actually cut down 10 pounds, and I'm just going to put it out there right now, I am lucky enough that in 2 weeks I could technically lose 10 pounds if I wanted to. I can get away with that. However, I'm the opposite of people who can put on muscle. I take years to put on even a pound of muscle, where some guys, they can just put it on like that, right? So when you get something like this, it's just very disheartening to see as a personal trainer, because then I get every client coming to me and asking me, it's like, well, why do I have to? You're saying it's going to take a year to get what I want, and she said it could take like 3 weeks. Why don't I just do her thing? I'm like, take those 3 weeks and do it and see what happens. And they come back and nothing has changed. They, if anything, they probably gained weight or, just stayed the exact same. Reason being, these people don't go over the diet. They don't go over how to diet properly. They don't go over an efficient way how to actually eat, I should say. Let's stay away from the term diet, I guess. But in terms of just efficiently eating for what you need to do to function as a human being, they're not doing it properly. You have all these fad diets. And again, Chloe Ting, in terms of Chloe Ting, her workout is great. But you get all these other people that are doing these, they're promoting these fad diets, they're promoting these fit teas, they're promoting detox, they're promoting juice cleanses, intermittent fasting type diets. And I'm not going to bash intermittent fasting because it's a decent, some people actually get great results with it. But when I get a client coming to me saying, I want to do intermittent fasting, and, tons of people see results from it, I'm like, well, you would see results from it because you're eating only 8 hours a day, whereas you would be eating the rest, 16 hours a day. Obviously, it's going to restrict your calories. The other thing, though, is you don't need to fast for 16 hours if you just ate properly to begin with. You could be a lot healthier. Your mindset could be a lot healthier. You wouldn't have to restrict actually touching food and putting food into your mouth if you just ate properly. Again, I've done intermittent fasting. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying from the very beginner, you need to learn how to eat properly first before you kind of experiment with these whole fad diets. And even then, don't experiment with them.
But there's nothing sexy about doing that.
There's not.
You can't stand at the. Do they still have water coolers in the offices? You can't stand at work and at the water bottle fill station at work and talk sexy about, I've learned how to eat proper nutrition and deal with my bad eating habits properly. No, I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm, no carbs for me. All those things make people feel like they've got something to share that makes them special. And that's an important part of it as well.
It is. Yeah. Well, it's the whole sense of belonging, right? Because it's something new. Like, the thing is, too, with people like that, just from being in the industry, you see a lot of people that they have failed time and time again because they think they know what they're doing, but they don't. Or they think they have somebody who's telling them what to do is right, and it's not. So they failed. And so they want to see the next big thing because they've been in this hamster wheel for 5, 10, 15 years. They just want something that will get them to the point of where they want to be. And if somebody says they can do it in 2 weeks, it's like, nothing else has worked. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
That's where it becomes an issue, right? And that's why we definitely need to stop this whole BS of those fad diets of take a month and try this, do it 2 weeks, try this, because that's what gets people caught in the hamster wheel. And then you tell them, a great example, I just created a diet for somebody, and she's actually eating more food now. She's eating more carbohydrates and fats and protein now than she was eating before. And she's losing weight because she's actually eating properly. And her metabolism's reset. She's actually hungrier now because her metabolism's reset. And at some point, she will be able to eat more food, still losing weight, right? It's this whole idea of, people just want those fast results. They're not willing to put in time to just wait to see some progress. As Walter said, it takes as long as to walk into the forest is to walk out. It takes time to build your body. It's the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, pyramids weren't built in a day, either is your body, and it's true. You could be doing this for 15, 20 years and you could still probably not be where you want to be at. It's just part of the routine, right?
And you can be doing it for 15 years and still be learning new things.
Exactly.
How the science works of the body. I mean, we know that the body cannot sustain that kind of weight loss caused by being just in a caloric deficit of whatever kind.
Yeah.
Eventually, you need the occasional refeed. Occasionally, you need the occasional rest from your workouts in order for your workouts to continue working. All those things, the body needs a reset. And the problem is that every time you go on one of these 2 week special diets or whatever, lose weight fast things, when you finish, you're going to come out and you're going to gain weight back again because you're no longer in that insane caloric deficit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to blame yourself and get pissed off.
Yeah. Or even better yet, you just lost water weight.
Yeah.
Right. So it's one of those two things. The other thing too is again, so we'll kind of shift away from the diet trend at the moment, and we'll go over to, again, still the same trends. 2 weeks to more toned arms, 2 weeks to a bigger butt, 80 days to a better butt. And I'm not going to show these exercises because I know a lot of people will listen on Spotify, and I don't want to have you burn your eyes watching me do these exercises. But there is a certain blog person who does Pilates. Hopefully that is enough for people to actually realize who I'm talking about. Blog Pilates. Anyway, so this woman, she goes on YouTube and she says 7 exercises for more toned arms. And it's body weight, which it can totally work. Do push-ups, you can get toned. Right? I'm not going to get into that whole discussion of tone, but whatever. You can do push-ups, it's great. Pull-ups, great. However, what she's doing is she puts her hands up by her chest, bent at the elbow, and she pushes air away from herself. And she does that 20 times. And she feels the burn from that. Now, I want you to envision this. You put your arms at shoulder height with the elbows bent and push your arms away from you. Similar to a push-up, just pushing air, though. Do you feel the burn on that, Walter?
I feel my joints.
Yeah.
More than anything else. I'm hyperextending.
You're hyperextending your arms there, right? But this is the type of exercises that this person's promoting. Again, huge presence on social media, and people actually watch this. Sure, Grandma Josephine does these exercises. It could work for her because she's probably 90 years old, not doing anything. Any sort of movement will help. If you're not doing anything at all, any sort of movement will help. There's no doubt about that. However, if you have been, in that, again, hamster wheel, you went running, then you stopped, then you did weights, then you stopped, you did elliptical, whatever. These type of exercises are not sustainable long-term. There's no progressive overload. So yeah, sure, maybe the first exercise or the first time you do this exercise, it's actually beneficial to you because you're finally moving. But again, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, it's not going to be good enough. And there's no talk about that. It's basically do this and you're going to look better in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. No mention of diet. It's just do these exercises. So, continue eating your McDonald's every day because if you just work out, everything's good. You don't need to worry about diet. It's these type of things. Squeeze your butt 80 times a day for a bigger butt. You don't need to squat, just squeeze your butt. This is the problem that you're seeing with the presence of social media, right?
I have to say that if you're not going to do anything and then you're going to squeeze your butt, that's better than not doing anything at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. However, you won't have a chance to see gains ongoing. Because eventually it's not going to be enough.
It's not.
And that's the problem too. They're offering things that either are not going to work at all or are going to work just this much and then are going to stop. And again, once it stops, where are you? You've learned nothing. You don't know how to do a proper squat or anything else that you can work with. And you are going to start taking it internally that there's something you're doing wrong. There's something wrong with my body. I'm the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the problem. It's it's a great transition into the next topic, which is the TikTok trends, which is basically taking all these social medias. And I mean, it's already bad enough. You got YouTube and Instagram. Teenage kids and kids alone can access this information just like that. It's sponsored content half the time. How many times have you logged on to YouTube and the first thing on there is Athlean X, who's actually really smart. He's good information. But he promotes his posts and he advertises. And if you happen to watch a fitness video, he is like the first person who will show up because of it. And it's the same with these people. Let's say 13-year-old girl, because it's what's been happening on TikTok, 13, 14-year-old girls go on YouTube, watch these videos. Then they because who at that age actually has any self-esteem, right? So they want a better butt because it's what everybody in society is telling them. So they go do Chloe Tings and they don't get anything, and they're not losing weight and they're not getting abs. They're not getting a butt. So what is the next option? Okay, let's try a little more intense. Let's try the juice cleanse. Let's do a 3-day juice cleanse where I don't eat. I just drink juice for 3 days straight. Oh my God, I'm starving. I can't do this. I'm going to eat, 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 eat. Oh my God, I just binged eat and I just gain more weight. Okay, what's the next option? Here's my finger, right? So it goes to the extreme where you get all these young girls, unfortunately, all these young guys, because I was one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Well, exactly. I was one of them. But mine was, I want to be bigger, not smaller. But you get these eating disorders almost, right? You get people that look so badly at themselves because they want to be skinny, so they'll stick a finger down their throat because they can't see anything else working. Or you get, like in my case, I wanted to be big. I just hated my body, so I would eat, but I couldn't eat because I thought it was all about the workouts, and even though I knew it would take time and all this other stuff, I just hated myself because this guy did it in 3 months and this guy did it in a year, and I've been in it for 2 years or 3 years and I'm still not where I'm at. So why isn't it working for me when it worked for these people? And there's like 80 million other people who've watched this. Have they probably got results, right? That's what's going on in my head.
Yeah. And the one thing you're not looking at is how old is the person you're looking at.
Yeah.
And you're 16.
Or better yet, this is it. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm 16. They've been doing it 15 years. When they do a 3-month cut, they already had 250 pounds of muscle underneath that fat.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just unfortunate, right? That you get all these people now banking, and I'm talking like millions they're making off of these type of trends, and it's basically just exploiting. I wouldn't call it gullibility. I would just call it uneducated, because it's not a topic. And again, it's similar to what we were talking about with the Black Lives Matter, right? The education, it's not there. When I was in school, the whole thing with my health education system, I mean, you're in gym class for an hour 4 times a week, and then we do like maybe 2 weeks of health, which that class would be don't do drugs, wear a condom. Here's the Canadian food guide pyramid, if you guys remember that thing, and it's like eat 9 to 11 servings of bread and have 1 serving of milk a day, and it's not good information that they're teaching. It's nothing in depth, right? So that's where I think a lot of the problem starts, is because you need to be teaching kids, especially at that age, proper dietary habits, proper workout habits. And it's not something that you have to force on them. It's just, hey guys, this is 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And then you go into the next level, which is like multiplication. Then you get into functions. Then you get into calculus. We don't have to go as far with that as health and nutrition. I just wanted to start at the very basics. What is a carb? What is a fat? What is a protein? What is a calorie? What is a micronutrient? This stuff isn't hard to teach. It's not anything that would take a lot of time. Sure, to understand it in depth like we do, it takes more research and it takes a lot more time, But for the basic understanding of how do I eat well so my body functions well and I can actually do what I want it to do, it really should only take,
To me, those are basic life skills.
Right.
Like you should be taught how to balance your checkbook. Oh my goodness. No. I'm not talking to you. You should be taught how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
What is a mortgage? You should be taught what macronutrients are, what micronutrients are, and occasionally how to cook something.
Yeah.
How to go to the grocery store. Where do you go when you go to the grocery store? I have taken clients shopping for groceries because they think that the only place to go is where the cans are and the dried pasta. They don't understand that there is fresh food all the way around the outside of the store.
Yeah.
And what the benefits of those things are. Exercise is the same way. This is a life skill. Having a healthy body, as we've spoken about in the past, the Greeks, the ideal of the healthy body wasn't the ideal of being an athlete, but it's using your body to its best ability. So if you don't know how to do anything, you're not going to get anywhere with that.
Yeah.
And I think to teach a well-rounded human being how to live, the education system has to go, this is how you eat, this is how you clean your house, this is how you do whatever,
Yeah.
and this is math, this is the arts, this is all the other things. And
Yeah.
find a way to fit all of that in, because it's all important.
Exactly.
To allow a child to learn one thing. And I'm guilty of this. When I was in school, I was really good with language. So I ended up taking throughout my high school years 5 years of French, 5 years of Latin, 5 years of German, and 2 years of Russian, and almost none of the other subjects. So that by the time, because I was good at them, by the time I got out, I was in this little circle where I could only go into translation.
Yeah.
And that's where the system failed me, as it fails other people, by saying, oh, you just go with this one little narrow thing that's going to take you to being the lawyer that your mom wants you to be, or whatever, rather than, sure, you're going to be a lawyer who knows how to balance his books, make this work, make this
Yeah.
work.
Exactly. I'm just gonna. So just remember, there was a grade 13. That's why he's talking about 5 years, because I know a few people won't understand that.
I did doubles though as well.
Oh,
Like
did you?
classes, double French, double German, double Latin,
Oh, jeez.
and there was a grade 13. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
so
it's exactly right. If you guys ever watched there's documentaries like Super Size Me, um, what's his name? Al Gore, what's that documentary he did? You know, all these type of documentaries, and I remember vividly this one gentleman who, family of five, very overweight, and the kids were on the verge, 5, 6 years old, on the verge of being like obese, not just overweight, like obese. And they're talking about how they eat every day and how they have to eat because he has diabetes from eating this way for so long. There's medications and blah blah blah, this and that, and they don't make a lot of money because of, America. But anyways, um, he was talking about again the way he have to eat. So they pull up to a McDonald's and they order, and it's again sure if you could order at McDonald's a salad, a chicken wrap, what this and that. It's not what they order. They order, him himself order like a Big Mac supersized meal, easy 1,500 calories, and that's like 3 times a day these guys are getting, and they're putting that on their kids too. And what do the kids learn? That's what they learn. And the whole reason why is because they're saying lettuce is expensive, chicken's expensive, fruit and vegetables are expensive. Okay, but if you learned how to eat properly, that's actually a lot cheaper buying and preparing. Sure, it might take 30 minutes out of your week to prepare it, but it's a lot cheaper to buy and prepare than it is to spend your money. As well, it's also cheaper long run because if you weren't eating like this, you wouldn't have gotten the diet. And he says, I got the diabetes from eating this way. He wouldn't have had that. He wouldn't have had to pay for the medications.
and that's the thing. If he's living in the States, he's paying for medications.
He's paying for it. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, well, this is it. I think he was paying like over $1,000 a month for medications.
Yeah.
And you're not working. He was the only one that was working, I think, and he wasn't making that much, supporting a family of five, right? So that's why they go to McDonald's, because it's, you see those meal deals, $2 for a hamburger. It's like, oh, that's great. That's a whole meal right there. Okay, but a whole meal could be, you could buy a 20-pound bag of rice for $20. You could buy, you don't even have to eat meat. You could just buy rice, beans, potatoes, shit like that, and you could still live off it. It may not taste the same as a hamburger. It's going to be a lot cheaper, and you're going to be a lot healthier for a longer time.
Arguably, the hamburger that you're getting from McDonald's, I will agree that there's a taste, manufactured taste to draw you back as many times as possible. It's not the taste of a real hamburger. And if you want to make a hamburger that tastes good, then you make a hamburger.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And if you spend your money properly, you're not saving by going to a place.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where this whole thing comes back to is people are caught in that hamster loop, the uneducated. I don't want to call it uneducated. I just want to say, I guess that's what it is, really. You could have lawyers that don't eat. It's what you said. Lawyers don't know how to eat properly. It's all this.
I had a client who was a very high level person medically. It didn't cook for him.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I couldn't understand.
Yeah. I mean, I've trained PhD with biology, so how does the body work? Well, it's all that sort of stuff, right? And it comes down at the end of the day, what we're talking about is if you guys see 2-week fads, 2-week workout plans, 2-week diets, don't follow them. They are full of shit. And what you can do is, if you don't have money to buy a trainer, great. That is totally fine. Because honestly, a trainer should not be telling you every single thing to do. As much as we do that, they should not be there for your whole life. We should just be there to get you to assist you so you can work on your form, work on your habits, and we can give you that extra push that you want to have, or whatever. But there is tons and tons and tons of research online. There is hundreds of thousands of videos by very smart people of how to eat, how to gain weight, how to lose weight. And it's not pretty. It's not do this for 2 weeks and you're done. It's a lifestyle. It's not, you can have McDonald's hamburgers and fries if it fits your macros every day. No, it's, you guys need to eat healthy and be healthy and actually eat properly, and you'll actually see the results over a longer period of time. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. We have value, and we are more valuable than a Happy Meal. More value than a super value meal. We deserve to have what makes us healthy and keeps our life long and well livable, as opposed to something that is fast and easy. None of those things. Those bad diets, those bad workouts, fast food, fast workout, doesn't. Ultimately, it's got to be a lifestyle that you choose to have the best life you can possibly be. You have value.
Yeah.
So do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So again, guys, we will be talking more in depth, obviously, with stuff like this. If you guys have any questions, any comments, Walter, myself on Instagram, YouTube comments, or just DM, email us, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
We'll be back next week again with more regular scheduled stuff because life seems to be getting back to normal now, so that's fun. Aside from gyms being open.
Yeah. Well, on the good side, Supreme Court of the U.S. today made a major decision.
I saw that, yeah.
Gay rights, trans rights are embedded in.
So for those who don't know, there was 26 states in the United States that if you were gay, you could be fired and discriminated against in your job.
Or trans,
sorry. Yeah, just any part of the LGBTQ plus community, you could be discriminated against and fired. So just let that sink in, how long it took, 2020. There's some work to be done. But it's good news. It's good news.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it off on a high note, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Bye.